What's poppin', fish keepers, 10-gallon fish tank fanatics, and shrimp keepers? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can see, I had a really fun weekend. Went out on the lake with some friends, got some good food, had an absolute blast. But I am delivering 4 yellow shrimp. This is the first shrimp that I'm giving away, and I'm trading this for some plants. As I'm running a fish store, we now are giving people store credit, and he wanted this for his store credit. So I'm gonna go do this exchange. All right, guys, so we traded 4 yellow shrimp. I sell them at $6 a piece for some plants. I am now running pretty much a store out of my garage. I have a lot of plants, fish, shrimp that I sell. So he traded in one of the guys I know from my Nashville Fish Keeper group. If you're not a part of it, go join the Nashville Fish Keepers on Facebook. It's a fun group. One of the guys I know, he traded in some moss, some wisteria, and some red root floaters for yellow shrimp. So we're going to put these in the tank, and we're going to update my website with extra stuff to sell. I now have some extra good options here. So excited to have this and add this in the tank. He ordered a bunch and had a bunch of extra plants. So we're going to utilize these in the tanks. So a couple things for today. I'm going to go ahead and do some tank maintenance. I wasn't able to do it over the weekend, so I'm doing it today. And so we're going to go do 20% water change on all these tanks, retop it off, use my easy top off water change system. We're going to add these plants in, and then we're going to start adding in the shrimp to the second row of tanks. So we got red shrimp here, cherry shrimp. Those are going to go back down here. Blue shrimp are going to come in the next one. Yellows will come in the next one. Orange, we don't have enough of the orange right now, so we're going to keep it just one for now until I get them going up more. The greens, I got a bunch, so those will go down in the next one. And then snowball, I don't have enough of, and we're going to leave the crayfish where they're at. So the ones I have a lot of, at least for sure, the red and the blue shrimp, we're going to start row 2, because the goal is to have 3 rows of each type of shrimp so that I always have an abundance of shrimp available for the customers. Got the red root floaters. We're going to put it in 2 tanks, see how it does. And then as it grows, we'll probably move all the frog bit out and put it up in the tank, this top 7 tanks, and just do red root floaters on the bottom 7. So we're going to throw these red root floaters in here and see how they do. They are not looking very healthy, to be honest. So I don't know if they're going to take at all or if they're just going to all die. And there you have it. We got the red root floaters in tank 1 and 2 on row 2. And if you can see, you got some red roots right there. And that's why they're called red root floaters. So, all right, we're going to see how these guys do. The other thing I need to do is take this money wort out of the pot and go ahead and plant it, because it's not seeming to do too well. Other than that, these other plants in here are actually doing pretty good, besides this crypt that just melted terribly. So I'll probably pull that one out and see if I can plant it and get it going. So let's do that real quick. Plant this directly under the light, as it needs a little bit more light than it probably is getting initially. Plant those roots all the way down in. All right. And there you have it. Now I have a big bag of wisteria, so we're going to start planting this in these tanks towards the back where the light is, and I'll probably throw a couple in each tank. And we have the wisteria in there. And you can see we got more in here. This one got a little cloudy from planting. And then we got it in here. And then we got a potted one as well. All right, so we got all the plants in. The next thing I want to do is divide up the moss. Let me show you that real quick. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking these cups, 2-ounce cups, and I'm going to be dividing this moss that I got in. I don't have a tank ready for this moss just yet, so because all my tanks have a different type of moss in them, and my top tanks have a bunch of different types of moss. So every tank has moss right now, and this is a new type of moss. I got to go look up the name of what it is. I'm blanking on it at the moment. So we're going to divide it up into these cups, and we're going to see if we can propagate it. And I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it to grow it, because moss usually doesn't need a lot of light. So I want to put it to where it gets some light, but not a crazy amount. We're going to fill these cups up with some water, small amount of moss, and I'm going to see if I can start growing these cups in this moss inside cups that I can propagate and then sell. And then eventually when I get row 3 of these tanks set up, then I can put this moss in one of the tanks or a couple of the tanks and grow it out. There you have it. It got the moss all split up, turned into 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 containers, it looks like. Yep, 11 containers of moss. So we're going to see if we can get them to grow and fill these containers up. If so, that'll be pretty awesome. We got a good way to propagate the moss. Got the plants in, did everything we needed to tank maintenance wise. Now we just need to top these tanks off. So we're going to go ahead and flip all these valves open and get our water top off system up and running so we can top these tanks off. Go. Open that valve up, make sure this one's closed, and we will open this one up. Bam. Tanks are being topped off. The tanks are topping off right now. While they're topping off, I just wanted to re-highlight this dual mini split my neighbor installed for me. If you are running a fish room and you're doing it in your garage or some area that needs to be temperature controlled, you got to get yourself a mini split. I was doing throughout the winter in my tanks back here, I was doing heaters in all these tanks because this would drop down in the 40s and 50s, maybe even lower than that. It gets pretty cold in the garage at times. So I knew that running heaters was a huge risk sorry, I had to check to make sure this doesn't overflow my tanks at all. But I knew running heaters was a huge risk because one of them could malfunction, fry all my fish, plus the electricity bill is going crazy. And with doing this many racks, that many heaters starts to add up and be very expensive. Electricity bill, you got a lot of outlets to use, all sorts of crazy stuff. So didn't want to go the heater route. I knew I needed to do a mini split. I was a part of the aquarium co-op page. Somebody else recommended that, and I was like, that's a brilliant idea. So we installed the dual mini split. This thing's been a game changer. Keeps it right at 75 degrees, and the fish and shrimp I'm keeping in here can all be happy and healthy at that temperature range. Now, if you need fish that need higher temperatures, then I have the heaters on deck that I can utilize as needed to be able to temperature control each individual tank. But I try to avoid them as heaters can malfunction. They can cause a lot of damage on fish, shrimp, your tank, cost you thousands of dollars. When you're running a fish room like this, it's definitely more cost effective. Just go ahead and heat the whole room. And if you need a certain fish that needs it hotter or warmer, you can just put a heater in that tank. So if you are running a fish room or thinking about doing it, get a mini split installed, get a good professional unit that can be worked on. It's going to be well worth the money. Here we have it, our founding colony of cherry shrimp. Got some young ones, some old ones, probably about 20 that we're going to throw in. And then this is our founding colony of blue shrimp. So just a reminder for everybody, we got cherry shrimp in this tank, blue shrimp in this tank. And we're going to be doing 3 rows of tanks here, and we're going to do 3 rows of each so that we always have a backup colony in case one colony dies off or something happens in one tank. We always have a backup. On top of that, each month I can pull from a different tank to sell from, which will give me a consistent supply of shrimp at all times. All right, we're going to throw them in. And here we go. The new colony of cherry shrimp are going in to their new home. Go be free, little ones. Okay, now for tank 2, we are now starting our second colony of blue shrimp. Now that we have our cherry shrimp and our blue shrimp in tank 1 and 2 of row 2, we need to add in some Bacter AE. That creates a biofilm for the shrimp to eat, especially when they start having babies, things like that. The shrimp are really going to love the Bacter AE and eat it. So I found dosing this really helps a lot when you're starting out a new shrimp tank. So now that we're adding these guys in, we are going to dose a little bit of Bacter AE in there. Do a very small amount. A little goes a long way. Don't use the scoop in the Bacter AE. Use like a little toothpick like you guys see me doing here. Just a small amount and dab it in there. You do it maybe 2 times a week, and that's usually plenty for the shrimp to enjoy without causing any sort of oxygen reduction in the tank, which you definitely don't want. Time for the normal feeding routine. Prop up, open all these lids except for the clown killie tank, as those guys are known jumpers. You don't want them jumping out. So round 1 of food is going to be magic nano feed, small fish feed. I like to do a pinch of this in most of the tanks. This goes everywhere and kind of mimics baby brine shrimp. My fish absolutely love it. I do nano fish, and yeah, it does very well for these nano fish. Okay, throw some in the CPD tank. That's going to kind of go everywhere. A little extra in there. Got a little CPD fry out here in the yellow shrimp tank. And then we got emerald dwarf rasboras here in the blue shrimp tank up top, and a couple CPD up top. Random note, as I was doing this tank up top here, I found a random little blue shrimp hiding out in my cherry shrimp tank, trying to stow away there. Okay, pinch of magic nano feed. Magic nano feed. Throw some in here for the white clouds. Throw some in here. Sparkling gouramis. Throw some in here for the clown killifish. There we go. Nice little pinch. All right. Magic nano feed done. If you guys don't have any of this, grab yourself some. It's pretty nice. Small food. Almost all your small fish are going to love it. Next thing I like to do is use the bug bites for small fish. I throw this in my crayfish tank, my dwarf crayfish tank. So I'll throw some of that in there, get some extra protein in there for them. And get that to drop down, creating a bunch of food for them to eat. All right. Next, we are going to do the algae wafers. Mini Hikari algae wafers. My shrimp love this stuff. I do about 3 algae wafers per tank. So we're going to throw these in here. The yellow shrimp are absolutely going crazy recently. Lots of breeding going on. Orange shrimp are doing pretty well as well. Throw 2 in there. All right, we're going to throw 2 in this green tank. We got a lot of green shrimp breeding. I got to come in here and do some culling. Just a reminder for those of you who don't know, when I cull my shrimp, I put them in a cull tank to be sold for cheaper, $1 to $2 typically. I run sales where I do $1 shrimp as needed. All right, now that we have some shrimp in this tank, we're going to throw, well, we'll let them eat for now. We're going to let them settle in, but we're going to start throwing these in the shrimp tanks down below. Next, we're going to do these Hikari protein wafers. And we're going to do that for all the Cory catfish. So we're going to do one in here. We're going to throw 2 in here for the albinos. These guys are looking good. We got the panda Corys in here, doing well. Throw 2 in there for them. Got some frog bit flipped over. Got stir-by Corys. My guy Jeff is coming to pick those up next weekend, and they're doing well. They've gone through their quarantine process, 2-week quarantine, and they're doing great. Yep. I'm going to throw 1 protein wafer in here for the Coolie Loaches. We got 5 left. I already had someone come last week and pick up a Coolie Loach. So we're down to 5 Coolie Loaches now. And throwing 2 protein wafers in here. Oh, got a little bug that fell in my tank. Throw that guy out. All right. Bam. Now we are going to feed the little jerks, aka the pea puffers. So we got to get some frozen bloodworms for those guys. Got a little 2-ounce cup here. We're gonna put some nice hot water in here. Pour a little bit out. There we go. And we are gonna grab one of these cubes and plop it right in. I feed my pea puffers these frozen bloodworms about 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they get the frozen bloodworms. And as I'm feeding them, I also feed this whole cube will feed all these racks. I just do a small amount. You want to be careful with bloodworms. You don't want them to feed too much. Could cause bloat and kill your fish. So you want to be careful, but the pea puffers love this. Let's go feed them and feed a couple others. Here we go. Pea puffers are going to be excited. Some nice frozen bloodworms for them. And there they go. Bam. They love these things. It's always a lot of fun feeding these guys. They go pretty crazy. All right. Quick recap of my fish room here. We got the cherry shrimp doing really well. They're loving this tank. We also have 2 CPDs hanging out in here. We're going to move them to the second row soon and keep this as a shrimp only tank. Sorry, it's not focusing right now. There we go. Shrimp only tank here soon, but this tank's doing well. Got the hornwort up top there, just growing really well and spreading out. Then we have the blue shrimp. These guys have been going crazy. And we have the emerald rasboras hanging out back here, but these guys are doing well. You need to come in and do some more culling, get the colors a little better. This tank has absolutely exploded recently. These yellow shrimp have really started to come into their own and are super beautiful. I gave 4 of these to the guy who gave me all the plants today, but man, look at the color on these. Super beautiful. Got a bunch of buried females in there. So we're getting a lot of babies coming out of that tank right now. Couple orange shrimp here, hanging out up in the guppy grass. And if you see hanging out, we got a whole school of CPD. Got to continue to work, try to breed these. I have 1 CPD fry in the yellow shrimp tank. So I need to get back to the breeding process and getting those going and getting a bunch more. Green shrimp are doing well. Got one in here who almost looks bluish. But we got a bunch of green shrimp hanging out in this tank. And then you got the green rasboras. Let's see if I can get it focused. There we go. Look at these guys pop. Super colorful. Awesome, awesome looking fish. Okay. Killifish, Austral Gold Killies are doing well. Still got the 3 in here. We've got Aquafina. She's the one that has a swim bladder issue. I don't know if we can see her anywhere. And then we got the other 2. We've got a couple snowball shrimp hiding out back in there. And then this one's a lot of fun. The dwarf crayfish are doing well, and these are all my coal shrimp. So it is doing good here. Okay. Then we'll come down. This is the new additions. I had 12 pygmy Corys, but I ended up selling them all. So I only have 5 left in here. So out of the 12, I only have 5 left. I've sold a bunch. We got Java Fern. We got the plant we just put in. And then we got the shrimp I just added in. So we'll see how these guys do. But we got one CPD that I shipped in right here that survived the shipment process. Hasn't been doing super well, so I don't think I'm going to ship them in anymore. We got all the cherry shrimp we just added in, the new colony, so I'll keep you guys updated how this new colony does in this tank. We got the moss for them, leaves, a lot of plants, so should do well. We got, like I said, 5 pygmy cories left in there. This one is a little foggy from planting the plants in there, but you got the 6 albino cories, and then we got 8 emerald dwarf reds. Boris hanging out in the back. This one's fun. I ended up selling 3 of the panda cories last weekend, and then I have the long-finned Czech Republic white cloud minnows, and they're still young, so they're going to be getting their fins, and it's going to get a lot longer there. But they're pretty colorful. I love them. Super cool. Got a tiger lotus bulb. I sold that one 2 weeks ago, so I got a new one in. Got this awesome sword plant there as well. And then if we come back here, we got an Anubias, and we got the whole array of stir-by cories. These guys are so awesome. And a couple other plants in there, but these guys are doing good. I have a guy coming to pick these up next week as they're going to be done with the quarantine process, and they're doing really well. Over here, we got the coolie loaches. These guys are crazy, look like little snakes. Got banana plants. I sold out of my banana plants, so I got more in. This crypt is doing terrible. Might not make it, it looks like. And then another sword. And then we got the sparkling gouramis. And we have the sparkling gouramis here as well. And these guys are doing well. I have 7 of them. Really awesome. Awesome fish. I'm going to get you guys a close-up here. There's one hiding out. Look at that. When they get under the light just the right way, they really sparkle. It's crazy. More stir-bys, and we got the clown killifish hanging out up top. Guys are super small, but super cute. And then we should have, more stir-bys hanging out back there. And then the puffers, as you saw, are hanging out here. Here's a really good shot at one of the sparkling gouramis. Beautiful fish. I love this fish. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, as that helps the algorithm push me out so I can get some more views. As you guys might know, I'm in a competition to see if I can get to 1,000 subscribers before my dad does, and he is whooping me right now. So need a little help. Give me a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. We're going to be coming out with more fish room content. I still need to build row 3. I will keep you guys updated how the new colony of red shrimp, cherry shrimp, and the blue shrimp are doing, and how all these fish are doing, because next weekend I'm selling some more fish. Thanks guys for tagging along. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.